All right, the Knicks.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just going to throw this out there.
Sure.
I was talking on my pod a couple of days ago about how we're on the clock with Giannis. I think Giannis has 1 year left with this Milwaukee team to see how it goes. And if they start to look old, if Chris Middleton looks the same way he's looked for the last 2 years, where he can't stay on the court, he can't look like Chris Middleton from the 2021 playoffs for long stretches. Brook Lopez is going to be in year, I think, 16. I don't really trust any of their swing guys. And if he feels like I can't win a title here anymore, I think he cares the most about titles and rings. I don't even think he really cares about markets. And I also think he'd be the kind of guy who would say, with a year left, hey, I'm going to leave in a year as a free agent because he can opt out summer 2025. I'm going to leave in a year, or you can trade me now. We've seen players do this in the past where they have the respect for the team. And they want to put their team in a position to make a move and put themselves in a position to win a title faster. Now we talk about the Knicks. You've been in this position before with the Knicks, where there's been this big prize looming. It's like those amusement park rides.
That's why I'm sitting there going like this. Yo, Bill, we supposed to be cool, man. Why are you bringing this up? Why are you doing this to me, man?
It's the amusement park ride where that thing's hanging with the claws, and you're trying to hit it with the claws. You know how I get about the Knicks, man. Don't do that to me, man. I mean, listen. But I'm telling you, I think this is where the season's going to head. Okay. Where all of a sudden the Giannis prize is going to start hanging over this Knicks season.
This is what I want to understand, and you and I have talked basketball on several occasions in the past. I want you to learn something about me today, okay? Because, first of all, I'm a really miserable Knicks fan. You know, I mean, I do not like how Leon Rose hides from the public
I don't either.
And has no accountability whatsoever. And you making a deal with Danny Ainge, and you got Gershon Rojas on the phone speaking for you instead of yourself when you the president of basketball operations, which I thought was a disgrace. Okay. And I respect Leon Rose, but I haven't respected how he's handled himself in terms of being accountable to Knicks fans, even though he's obviously done a decent job because they've been in the playoffs 2 of the 4 years he's been here. Having said that, let me say this. The New York Knicks, and this is what you need to know about me. One of the biggest reasons I'm miserable is because we're the media capital of the world, we're the #1 market, and we can't get a star. Think about this. Our last real bona fide star. One would say it's Patrick Ewing. I'm going to go back to Walt Clyde Frazier.
I would say Bernard. You're not going to say Bernard for a year and a half?
Well, Bernard, but that's perpetually injured. You know, I know how big Tom Bernard
I know,
was,
but for 18 months, I felt like Bernard
You're right.
got
He was fantastic.
Yeah.
You're right. Okay, fine. What I mean by that is this. I haven't had somebody arrive in New York that made me look and say, you know what, we might win the title. We might win the title. I haven't had that guy. When Bernard was here, you had Magic and Bird and Isaiah and Jordan was coming and Barkley was coming and, you know, you had all of that going on. All right. When Ewing was there, that's what was going on. When Carmelo was there, LeBron was in Miami, man. You know, D-Wade was in Miami. You know, I'm looking for the guy.
You always had the third guy in the movie. You always had the third guy in the movie. You never had the lead guy in the poster.
Yeah. You know, I'm looking for the guy that arrives in a New York Knicks uniform that has the city saying, we might win it. We might win it because of this guy. We don't have that guy, which is why I so desperately wanted KD and Kyrie to come to New York to the Knicks, and they were coming at the 11th hour until Kyrie convinced KD to change his mind, go to Brooklyn. No, you get me.
That was DeAndre Jordan's fault. You know that story. DeAndre Jordan played on that Knicks team. He's like, you guys can't go here. This place is a mess.
Oh, my Lord. That's one of the things. That's one of the things that was said. Also, it was Kyrie thinking about creating his own legacy and all of that other stuff, okay? The bottom line is, could you imagine if Kevin Durant was in New York And I'm talking about when Kevin Durant had that 49-point game that I predicted he dropped 50 after Kyrie got hurt and he went against Milwaukee in game 5 and he dropped 49 but missed 50 because he missed a free throw when I predicted that morning on first take he was going to drop 50, or the KD that showed up in game 7 and stuff like that, and it just couldn't happen. I mean, when's the last time the Garden had that? And that's what I'm looking for, man. This is New York, and the stars are everywhere but New York. And that's what bothers me. Jalen Brunson's a sensational player. He did a sensational job for us this year. But we all know that, he's not box office himself. He can really ball, but he's not the marquee. I want a marquee, man. I want a marquee bad with legitimate championship aspirations is what I'm talking about.
So you're in this situation that I think is going to happen with Giannis, especially let's say they start out 12-8 or whatever, and everybody's going to start talking about it. You've been in this situation, LeBron, 2010.
Yeah.
KD that whole summer before 2016. Who else? Who else has been dangled? Like the it was really them. Those are the two biggest examples, no doubt. But because 2010 was devastating because that was like basically 2 years of hoping, praying this free agent class, and then with Amari Stoudemire.
Imagine how it was for me. I was fired by ESPN. I was gone. By this time, I started back in the business, starting for Fox Sports Radio. Yeah. And I broke the story that they were going to South Beach. They were joining forces.
I remember it. I made fun of it, and I was like, "There's no fucking way. They're not. Yes. That's not happening." And then it happened.
And it happened, right? And so I'm sitting there and like, but in the same breath, I'm sad because even though I'm breaking the story, that means he ain't coming to New York. Yet another guy ain't coming to New York. We're one draft pick away, one pick from getting Steph Curry. And he lands at number 7 in Golden State. The Knicks had the 8th pick. Okay? The Zion thing. It's either Zion or Ja Morant. We get the number 3 pick. We get RJ. I mean,
that might be the best pick out of those 3. Who knows? You might have gotten the best guy.
It's very depressing. It's very depressing. It just drives me nuts, man. But, I mean, it's hard for me to remain objective about my Knicks because I love the franchise so much. I'm a diehard, lifelong Knicks fan, but they make me sick because I have yet to receive any joy from them at all.
Well, at least they have assets now to make a move, which has not been the case for a long time.
Yeah, but how do you think I feel when you had those assets and you could have utilized them to get Donovan Mitchell and you didn't get him?
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
I think you're
Danny
fine.
Ainge was asking for too much. Well, maybe if you hadn't gone to the playoff series between Utah and Dallas, recruiting, acting like you still you at Kentucky or something, maybe that you wouldn't have irritated Danny Ainge and he could have done a deal with you to get Donovan Mitchell for crying out loud. This is the kind of stuff that I'm talking about, Bill.
And you have the Embiid possibilities too. If they make no trades, Harden comes back, he's miserable, Embiid's miserable. That's always sitting there too.
I don't know about that. I don't think Embiid will leave Philadelphia. I think they'll do everything they can to keep him. They'll clean house. They'll do what they have to do. And Daryl Morey better do something. There's no question about that. They better figure it out.
Well, it was the biggest Knicks win of the last 10 years. The idiotic Brooklyn is going to replace the Knicks and watch Brooklyn. They're going to build this whole basketball thing. And I've never lived in New York in my life. And I was like, that's never happening. The Knicks have like 6 generations of fans.
Exactly.
Brooklyn's just going to waltz in and become the new basketball capital.
Idiotic.
What the fuck are you guys talking about?
Kyrie
so at least
Irving,
that's been vindicated.
Kyrie Irving and Kevin Durant easily cost themselves about $500 million by choosing Brooklyn over the New York Knicks. I'm talking about off-court opportunities. Off-court opportunities easily cost themselves $500 million. Easy.